Hello everyone. Welcome back to our English learning channel. In today's lesson, we are going to learn one of the most important grammar topics in English, conditional sentences. Conditional sentences help us talk about facts, real possibilities, imaginary situations, and events that did or didn't happen in the past. In this lesson, we will study the zero conditional, first conditional, second conditional, and third conditional. You will learn when to use each type, how to form affirmative, negative, and question sentences, and how to use them correctly with clear explanations and practical examples. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to use English conditionals confidently in both speaking and writing. Let's get started. Conditional sentences. Conditional sentences describe a condition and its result. They usually have two parts: if clause condition and main clause result. The order of the clauses can change without changing the meaning. Example: if you study hard, you will pass the exam. You will pass the exam if you study hard. 1. Zero conditional. Use. The zero conditional is used for general truths, scientific facts, rules, things that always happen. Structure. If plus present simple, present simple. Examples: if you heat water to 100 degrees Celsius, it boils. If people don't eat, they get hungry. If you mix blue and yellow, you get green. If it rains, the ground becomes wet. Negative. If plus subject plus do not plus base verb, subject plus do not plus base verb. Examples: if you don't water plants, they don't grow. If people don't sleep, they don't feel well. Questions. Can we make questions? Yes. Examples: what happens if you don't study? What happens if you don't water a plant? 2. First conditional. Use. The first conditional is used for real future possibilities, likely situations, warnings, promises. Structure. If plus present simple will plus base verb. Examples: if it rains tomorrow, I will stay at home. If you study hard, you will pass the exam. If she calls me, I will answer. If they arrive early, we will start on time. Negative. If plus subject plus do not plus base verb, subject plus will not plus base verb. Examples: if you don't hurry, you won't catch the bus. If she doesn't study, she won't pass the test. Questions. Will plus subject plus base verb plus if plus present simple? Examples: will you come if I invite you? Will she help us if we ask? Will they travel if they have enough money? 3. Second conditional. Use. The second conditional is used for unreal situations, imaginary situations, dreams, giving advice. Structure. If plus past simple would plus base verb. Examples: if I won the lottery, I would buy a big house. If I were you, I would study harder. If she had more time, she would travel more. If they lived here, we would visit them often. Negative. If plus subject plus did not plus base verb, subject plus would not plus base verb. Examples: if I didn't have work, I would go with you. If she didn't live far away, she would visit us. Questions. What would plus subject plus do plus if plus past simple? Examples: what would you do if you won the lottery? Where would you live if you could choose any country? Who would you invite if you had a big party? 4. Third conditional. Use. The third conditional is used for unreal past situations, regrets, missed opportunities, imagining a different past. Structure. If plus past perfect would have plus past participle. Examples: if I had studied harder, I would have passed the exam. If she had left earlier, she would have caught the train. If they had invited me, I would have gone. If we had known the truth, we would have helped. Negative. If plus subject plus had not plus past participle, subject plus would not have plus past participle. Examples: if I hadn't forgotten my keys, I wouldn't have been late. If she hadn't missed the bus, she wouldn't have arrived late. Questions. What would plus subject plus have done plus if plus past perfect? Examples: what would you have done if you had seen the accident? Where would they have gone if they had had enough money? Who would she have invited if she had organized a party? Quick comparison. Zero conditional. If you heat ice, it melts. Facts and general truths. First conditional. If it rains tomorrow, I will stay home. A real future possibility. Second conditional. If I were rich, I would travel around the world. An imaginary or unlikely situation. Third conditional. If I had studied harder, I would have passed the exam. A past situation that cannot be changed. Important notes. Use the zero conditional for facts and scientific truths. Use the first conditional for real future possibilities. Use the second conditional for imaginary or unlikely situations. Use the third conditional for regrets and unreal situations in the past. Do not use will after if in the zero or first conditional. In the second conditional, if I were,